Two-time Hall of Fame inductees, Brent Godarzi and Marty Young. Back-to-back #1 trucking firm in the nation. Back-to-back best attorney and best law firm in East Texas.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Gilmer Buckeye Coaching Show. I'm Todd Robinson, your host this week, with the head coach and athletic director, Alan Metzel. Well, Coach Metzel, first of all, congratulations. Back to the Final Four, another victory, 36-15 last week. Why don't we jump right in and let's talk about the game.
Okay, pretty excited that our guys responded the way they did. You know, we talked all week about not letting it be a trap week, playing somebody you'd already defeated and had a pretty good margin earlier. You know, when you play a team 4 weeks later and you're in the playoffs, they're not going to come play the same way they did earlier. And so I felt like our guys really prepared well all week, and then as we got to get to on the field against Mount Pleasant, I felt like they took care of business.
Very much so. Well, obviously, it's Pleasant Grove again. It's not a team you're not familiar with, but really this wasn't the same Pleasant Grove team. Mm-hmm. Johnson comes back, plays some quarterback, number 2. We talked about it all during the pregame. You knew that he was going to play a pivotal role. But the last time we saw Pleasant Grove, they came out with a young quarterback and threw it more in the first quarter than they had the entire season combined. Mm-hmm. Was that kind of a surprise to the coaching staff?
That they threw it earlier in the first game?
Well, just in terms of what you were expecting in terms of Pleasant Grove with Johnson back in the lineup.
Oh, I felt like they did probably what we expected. You know, I knew that it was going to be tough to just go straight to him and let him, you know, be the go spread and so forth. They've been using that a little bit in the playoffs, but we prepared for both. I felt like the way they played it out was about the way it would play out, yes.
Well, in terms of the offense picking up right where they left off, it took you won the coin toss, mm-hmm. elected to receive. Mm-hmm. We made mental note of that. Mm-hmm. Took 66 seconds and 4 plays to score. Mm-hmm. So this offense now seems to be hitting on all cylinders and really having elevated another level. Mm-hmm. I don't remember us ever seeing us play this well offensively.
We're playing well, and a lot of it, you know, I'd like to say a person. You know, Brandon's obviously the guy with the keys. He's the quarterback, but you've got an offensive line that's giving him plenty of time. He's getting to look at reads. He's getting to, and we're doing some double move stuff, and they're allowing him the time to be able to wait for that guy to clear. Our receivers, Parker Gilo, Jay Rockwell, of course, Rowan, they're catching everything. You know, and then you got Tarek Tate who got in on it this week and takes one to the house. So, you know, excited for that. Running backs are all running well. The fullbacks are playing well. Right now, we feel like we're hitting our stride, and that's what we want. And this is the time to be doing it.
No kidding. It's scary. Well, let's talk a little bit about the victory. I know we can't talk about specifics any more than we can in what we're going to see.
Yeah, that'd be good. We'll start out. You know, this is play 3 of the game. It's interesting. 2 weeks ago, Gilo scored on the 4th play of the game. Then last week against Vandy, he scored on the 2nd play of the game, and then this week he scores on the 3rd play of the game.
I like this trend. Yeah, I'm okay with this.
Yeah, that was pretty good. This is all it is a hard count, you know, and so we knew they were going to come out ready to go, trying to get after us, so we put in a hard count here early. We get their defensive tackle to jump offside, so now, you know, it's just the receivers run go routes.
Free play.
Yeah, free play. And, you know, usually you throw it up and you hope for maybe a pass interference or you just get your 5 yards. Well, Brandon drops a dime right over the top of the corner, and Parker makes an amazing catch, and they kind of let up, and he walks in the end zone. And, you know, I was already ready to call the next play, and here we are scoring. So
that, first of all, tremendous catch and concentration.
Absolutely.
But it looked like that Parker Gilo is having an effect now on literally the entire game because of how defenses are having to react to now what is your big 3. Right. You know, Roe's going to be Roe. Earlier in the season he was targeted, but in terms of how Parker and Jay Rockwell have taken advantage, having those 3 guys on the field at the same time really kind of presents a pick your poison for the defense.
Especially when you got guys like Ashton Haynes and LaDaylon Jackson in the backfield as well.
Thunder and Lightning's a whole nother discussion on the running game, but you really kind of have to choose how you want to take it. And on that one, it was long and fast, and it didn't take long for Parker to put 6 on the board.
Great way to start the game. Great way to start.
I'm okay with starting it. If we want to start the next two that way, I'm perfectly okay
We're
with
okay with that.
Not
as
that
well.
you need my permission, but I'm okay with that.
You bet. You bet. Well, we'll go next. The black flag. You know, I grouped some things here. We had several red zone stops, and so I grouped some third and fourth down plays here together because in order to make that fourth down stop, you got to make that third down stop. And so here they are. PG's on about the 15 or 16, and we have a big play here and multiple guys. You've got Amaro Rona, you've got Braylon Ward, you've got multiple linebackers, Jose Hernandez, but their Jerron Choice is in here in this action. But you can see how we made like a wall around this back here, and we catch him in the backfield, lose a couple of yards. Third down stops allow you to have fourth down stops. So here now we go to fourth down, and they're going to try and throw a fade in the end zone to one of the receivers. And here we've got a freshman, Jeremiah Noble, who
G-Man.
moved him up.
You'll hear that name a lot the next couple of years.
That's exactly right. And so Jeremiah is a great competitor, very good athlete. Here he is one-on-one and goes up, knocks the ball away, fourth down stop, we get the ball back.
You know, it'd be one thing if you talked about a defense making a fourth down stop once, twice, in a couple of weeks span.
Mm-hmm.
This is probably the 8th time that this defense has faced first and goal inside their own 10-yard line in the last month. And I think opponents have scored twice at this point.
I think you're right.
It is, the bend don't break has gotten so extreme that we're now accusing this defense of allowing people to get inside the 10 just so they can make it dramatic.
I'm okay if we stop outside the 10. I have mentioned that, but I'll take the stop wherever. I like zeros up there on the board, so I'm not going to argue. Well, here is, we're going back to the offensive side. Here, when you're talking about using some of these different players, here's Parker Gilo again. But we're doing this off of Rowan here, and so we send him out. We've run several screens to him, and so we're going to get their eyes on him and give a fake of a play that we do run to him. So you see them jump him. You see Parker stops, shows like he's going to block. That gets their guys to bite, and then he runs right by him, and then Brandon makes a beautiful throw right in the corner of the end zone, and we get our second touchdown. So you can see it on the wide screen here. He shimmies, goes right by him. Great timing, great throw. Line gave us time. Touchdown.
It's a beautiful thing. Literally, that's how you draw it up.
That's how it's supposed to look.
That's how it's supposed to look.
You bet. So we go to the extra point, and we see that there are guys short here on the edge, and so we flick it out here to Michael Colbert, and the ball is a little bit low. He makes a great catch, scooping it, and keeps his feet, and then just is able to walk into the end zone. So that's just one of those plays where, you know, we have multiple ways of running a play out of this, and if you don't take care of that edge, then this is one of the things that we can do and gives the opponent something else they have to cover.
Well, it's such a blessing to have Michael in as just his athleticism.
Mm-hmm.
He ran down a play later on defense. I don't
Right.
know if it's on the highlights, but he had a touchdown saving tackle where he came all the way from the backside, hustled his rear end off, and got a tackle from behind.
Right.
It is so great to have Mike on the roster and in those spots when you need him. When he makes something that's difficult, picking it up and going to score for a 2-point conversion look easy.
He did. Nice job on his part, and the line getting out in front of him. We'll move from there. Let's see. We are back to
Goal line stand.
Goal line stand again. Exactly. Okay. So another third down defensive stop here. You see Braylon Ward crash through their offensive line, creates a problem, makes the back adjust, and then the rest of the black flag rushes to make the tackle. Another big third down stop to force fourth down. That's right. So here we go with fourth down, and we're going to have a huge play here. They try a little reverse, and we get penetration. It messes up the pitch, and then Matt Burton goes and scoops up the ball, and not only did we get a stop, but we picked up about 15, 20 yards there.
On field position.
Yes.
Well, and just as a reminder for fans, that series started first and goal from R2, and they went nothing but backwards after that.
That is right. So great job by the defense. Extremely proud of their resiliency. We move from that. We're going to go to a touchdown catch by Rowan. I think there's like a minute 27, something like that, before half. We're trying to go down and score before we go into half. They're going to get the ball coming out of half. So we're wanting to do something down the field a little bit. So we send Rowan. This is essentially the same play Rowan scored on against Van. A little stutter and go by the safety. He's able to get behind the guy. Really credit the line for giving us the time.
It takes a good 5 seconds for that to develop. And Brandon, you watch it on this play, just sat back there at 1003, 1004.
Puts it up.
And no pressure whatsoever on him.
Right. Super job by selling the route on Rowan's part. He didn't cheat the route. You're going to see him here as he comes up. He'll break it in for a couple of steps and then goes. And that's what gives him the separation to get behind the player. So big play. Felt like it was a huge momentum thing going into halftime.
Great job by the line to give Brandon the time to do what he does. Rowan, you expect for Brandon and Rowan when they got that much time to be able to do that.
It ought to work out. Here we come out of the halftime break, and I felt like our defense set a tone. You're going to see Braylon Ward again at nose guard, and then Amaro Arona here on the edge get into the backfield. Just setting a physical tone there. I think it's about a 2-yard loss there. That's what you want your defensive front to look like, where there's nowhere to go.
A wall.
Yes, exactly. I think Amaro had, counting his special teams tackles, I think he was like at 18 or 19 tackles on the night.
He played a fantastic
game.
He
really did.
Really, really whistle to whistle.
Exactly. Here's another red zone stop again. They're down about the 21, 22-yard line. And third down play here. We're going to get this third down stop. Here's Matt Burton. He's going to come through the line and makes a big stop. It was 3rd and 1, and he stops him for no gain. Third down stop, prepares you to get a 4th down stop. So here we go. They're going to go 4th down, and I believe this one's going to be Jose Hernandez. Exactly. Right. He's going to come through on a blitz, finds an opening, another big loss. They went from 3rd and 1 to about a 14-yard loss on those last 2 plays.
Yeah, and I guess it's such a luxury because you got those seniors back there, and they tend to move around. You don't see 44 in the same spot every time. You don't know who's coming because you can't plan where anybody's going to be in the first place.
That's exactly right. Coach Edwards gives several of the guys who are really well versed in where to be, gives them latitude on where to start. And so they may be coming through A gap and they start in D. And they're moving around, and then they time out the snap, and then they come through. So a tremendous job on their part of knowing what to do, and also on his part of being creative and saying, okay, I trust you on this, but you got to get there.
Senior leaders that also understand that they're creating havoc before the snap, where guys are trying to figure out on a big play, I know where I got to pass protect, I know who I got to get blocked up, and I can't even find people. It's nice to have guys that have played 40-plus games on the varsity and seen it all, and nothing phases them.
Right, no doubt, that's for sure. Okay, we move from that into Tarek Tate. Tarek's a junior on our team, has done very well on freshman JV levels, and here he gets a chance to make a big play again. We're moving Rowe around. They're going to be looking at him, and then we come back with a screen to Tarek. And so it's just another opportunity to get more guys the ball. You can see our line, great job getting out. We've said all year long they've done as good a job with screens this year as any year we've had. Yeah. Great job getting out, creating that wall. You can look at Bodie Henson leading the way down there.
How many times does number 53 show up 6 yards behind the guy with the ball, and he's supposed to be the fast one? It never.
He's hustling.
He is always around the ball, even when it's 50 yards downfield.
Super job. Tarek does a great job. Tarek's got a lot of speed. He's going to be a big play guy for the next couple of years. So we're excited that he got to gain some confidence there and make a big play in a big game. Okay, here they come out, PG, and they'd scored, and so we know they're going to kick an onside kick. But the reason I put this one on here was, again, it's Jeremiah Noble, the freshman, who makes a great play. They kick it right to him. Right to him. Well, it'd be easy to freeze, not know what to do, whatever. He just fields it like he was playing shortstop and takes off and almost broke it back for a touchdown. So I just thought it was a really heads-up play. It just kind of shows you his fluidity, his confidence, all in this one little play right here. So excited to have Jeremiah and the things that he's offering.
Well, I can tell you one thing. We don't have timid freshmen. I promise you that.
No, we don't. They're getting after it. They're playing with a lot of confidence. They are. So our final highlight here is a run by LaDalen Jackson. Finished off our scoring for the night, and great job. He's so good at going north and south. That's one of the things I really like about the way he runs. When he hits that hole, he is rolling. And you can really see how the line does a great job on their blocks, blocking down. And then here comes our fullback on his kick block. And then LaDalen sees that's not a big opening right there, but he hits it going as hard as he can go. And
nobody touched him.
Slices through.
When you're that fast and you can hit a hole, it makes it so much more comfortable, I guess, on your offensive linemen that know that I just got to give him a crease, and I mean he's gone like yesterday. It's right now when 21, and Ashton has done such a great job in being patient with his runs, but both those guys in terms of going from 0 to full speed right now,
they've got a burst.
It is good to have those guys on our team. That's
Absolutely
for
is. Absolutely is.
So as things shaped out, as Friday night progressed, we know that we went from a Final 8 that we were proud to be members of once again this year down to the Final 4, which we belong to now. So it's on the one bracket, it's China Spring versus Cuero. Cuero's a name that Buckeye fans are familiar with.
2009.
We're hoping that next week we'll be worried about all that over there. But for this week, it is another familiar name with the Salina Bobcats. They're state ranked, always have been this entire year, right alongside with us. I think lots of folks from the Metroplex on the west side and lots of folks from East Texas kind of have anticipated this week for a while. But in terms of the coaching staff, not an unknown quantity to you. Tell us a little bit about what we'll see from Salina for Buckeye fans that remember 2003 and 2014 and 2015 and 2016. They've seen us recently. Anything change with that big orange machine that's coming at us on Friday?
The thing about Salina is part of why they are so good all the time is they do what they do. And they've done that for decades now. Coach Elliott played there, played for Coach, I'm forgetting his name now, Butch Ford, sorry. Played for Butch Ford, and Butch Ford played for G.A. Moore, and so they do what they do, and they tweak it a little bit, but they're gonna run their system, and their guys are gonna play hard. They're gonna be as tenacious as anybody you play against. They're famous for their 10-1. From yesteryear, but now with all the spread offenses, that's morphed into typically a 6-man box of some sort, but they're still man free in the back end, and they're going to try and put as much pressure as they can on the box, and then dare you to beat them with plays on the outside. That's defensively. Offensively, they're typically a run-oriented team with a lot of play action. This year, they've thrown the ball down the field a good bit. I've seen that.
They really have, yeah.
In the film study, and are pretty efficient at it. So, their offense that they can run and they can throw. They play good on defense. They're always well-disciplined in special teams. They're hard to catch them off guard on things, that kind of thing. So, a good team, a team that you would think would play in a state semifinal.
Well, down to the Final 4, you're not going to find anybody that you expect to beat 80-0. Not like Buckeyes in yesteryear haven't literally done that to some teams, including the Salina team. I know lots of folks from Salina remember that and don't have really good memories of that. But as of every year, you get down to the Final 4, and it's the Final 4. Everybody's got their style, and this is as much about matchups for one team against another team, and then just understanding that you got to win this week to get to the next week. So do what's in front of you now. What is the mode now? It's December post Thanksgiving time down here in the field house. What's the vibe, and what are you most looking forward to going into this, as you put it, the fun part of the season?
Right. Well, the vibe is we're excited to still be playing, and anytime you got Christmas music and your tree and your field house and you're still playing, it's a good thing. That's a good vibe. So our guys are excited. Like I said, I didn't think we missed a beat last week, and I think the closer you get, the easier it is to see the light at the end of the tunnel, and so that's just going to carry that momentum forward. And we're looking forward to a great week of practice and a game against a really good opponent this Friday night. It'll be a lot of fun.
Well, 7 o'clock in Prosper, unbelievable stadium.
Beautiful.
They spent $50+ million over there. Who knows where they got the money, but it's standing there. Last year we played Graham in the same stadium, if Buckeye fans remember. I threatened to move into the press box because it was literally bigger than any house within 100 miles of here. It is ridiculously nice. So Buckeye fans, we're the home team. You will be very comfortable in Prosper. Know it's a little bit of a drive. We're hoping with cross fingers that we get the same kind of weather that's held out. Would love to have that. Obviously, if we play any further than that, weather doesn't become an issue anymore. But for this week, want to just have a special recognition that Coach, out of all the 108 years that we've been playing football here in Gilmer, Texas, teams and juniors and seniors come through in 2-year stints. From 2003 and 2004 and 2008, 2009 and 2013 and 2014, all those teams had one thing in common with this team, 2020 to 2021. Not that they all won state championships, which they did, but all of them until this last week had put 8 or 9 interrupted trophies in the trophy case. Now I notice in here in the office you got them everywhere. But this team Friday night just brought home the 10th trophy, which is the now most successful run back-to-back that any Gilmer Buckeye team has had in history of 108 years. Not only that, but you are now the winningest coach from the first 2 years in Gilmer Buckeye history, so congratulations on that to you and your staff.
Thank you.
And as I reminded somebody in church today, he was here for all the other ones too. Because people forget, you've been doing this for 20 years here in the field house. So the more things change, I know it's new with you being our head coach, but congratulations nonetheless. We're grateful as a community for the consistency, and this team seems to be not done yet.
That's the plan. That's the way the leaders, the captains want to be. For the compliments, thank you. We have received a great heritage. When you receive a legacy like we have here and an expectation to win, whether it's in the field house or in the community, it's a blessing. And so people, when they come up here, when kids come here and they're wanting to take the easy way out, and you just call the parent who we usually coached or as a relative or whatever, and they get after them and say, no, you're going to get going, that kind of thing. That's why we're blessed and get to continue the way we do. And so anyway, very honored to be in this position, thankful for it. We have unfinished business. We're not satisfied with where we are right now, and so it's going to be fun.
Yeah, that's the neat thing, is that it seems like when you look backwards a little bit, you can say it's never been better, and that's true in every capacity. But you get the feeling that we're not done yet.
That's where we're working towards. We've got a lot of work to do up here at the field house today. And we got to have that plan ready for tomorrow, and then the kids are going to get after it.
Well, 7 o'clock Friday night, no excuses anymore. We need the Army of Buckeyes to show up in Prosper, Texas. 7 o'clock, we take on the Salina Bobcats. We'll be the home team. We encourage you to log on to all of the social media sites, whether it be the Facebook site, whether it be gilmerisd.org, to get information about ticketing. We will have information. Got to ask a lot this morning. We were very fortunate last week that we had literally no charge, no nothing. We got to broadcast everything live like we always have. Shout out to Neil Metzel in Japan, who was watching us, I know. But in terms of this week, we don't know as of the taping of right now of where we're going to be. So more than likely, you should just plan on coming to Prosper because there's 8 quarters of Buckeye football left if things go well this season, folks. That's about, if we're lucky, 150 offensive snaps. That'd be good. And that's all it is. It's 2 more games. And so if you haven't got a chance to see this unprecedented level of success in Buckeye football, now would be the time. Come out to Prosper 7 o'clock Friday night, where your Buckeyes in the state semifinals play for the right to go to Jerry's World next week, which would be an awesome way to usher in Santa Claus once again. So for myself, Todd Robinson, the head coach and athletic director of the Gilmer Buckeyes, Alan Metzel, we'll see you in Prosper on Friday night, 7 o'clock. Go Buckeyes.
Go Buckeyes.